Today we're going to talk about probing. I'm going to express to you guys my personal experiences with probing at the beginning stages of my training and now how I feel probing should be like. And I'm also going to express to you what my students experience because I have had a variety of students in the past couple of months for some Farsight training. And hey, let me tell you, it's been a journey. It's been fun. They told me some stuff. So I'm going to give you guys the tea. All right. So if you got any questions, I'm also watching every single thing you say. Please be very vocal in the comment section. I am open to expressing anything you need me to answer. That is a really good, interesting question. So physically, let's talk about how probing is actually done. Probing is when you continue to focus on a specific point for not longer than 2 seconds so that you can trust your intuition. Your intuition is something that comes to you immediately. It's not something that you're creating a story about. A lot of the times, people are skeptical about things like trusting their intuition, and it's a journey to trust your intuition. So using a probe dot physically on a piece of paper would be more helpful so that you can focus more. When I say a probe dot, it's literally just a period. It looks like a period dot, just a black dot. You would place your pen on a piece of paper where a black dot is, and as soon as you put your pen down, what's the first thought that comes to your mind? You can do this with anything, honestly. You don't have to be remote viewing to understand your intuition with probing. You could probe during a random situation in reality, or you could probe for specifically just to see what your subconscious is telling you. It's similar to trusting, trusting your inner gut. But you're paying attention to your thoughts. Your mind wants to create a story a lot of the times when you're trusting your intuition. Sometimes you don't trust your intuition and you try to change your thoughts. So probing helps with that. You physically put a pen down on a dot on a piece of paper or on anything physical. And what's the first thing that comes to your mind? What's the first thought? One word, just one, that comes to your mind immediately, intuitively, when you place your pen down. That is what probing is. But the difference between probing and a natural feeling in the gut is that you're listening to your mind say something immediately instead of prolonging the feeling, like the gut feeling you get when you walk into a room and you're sensing the vibes. Yeah, that's not probing. It's just a feeling. It's a gut feeling. It's a sensation you get. That's not probing. Probing is the first thought that comes to your mind. We want that. That's what we're grasping for. That's the psychic ability everybody is trying to achieve in reality, is how to trust your intuition. Just what's the first thing that comes to your mind? It's so simple. It's more simple than you think. And it's so simple that you try to complicate it consciously, going, I don't know what I'm thinking. I'm not thinking of anything. When the mind is constantly thinking at faster rates than you could imagine, you can't visualize it. You have to hear it. It has to be something that is immediately there. What's the first thing that came to your mind? You have to speak within milliseconds as soon as that question is asked, because otherwise it's a gut feeling. Gut feeling is I don't know, something about this room doesn't quite feel right. Does somebody have an argument in here a couple hours ago? Something's not right about my feeling in this area. That's not probing. It's some sort of intuition, but it's not probing. Your emotions can immediately change. in a millisecond when you probe. You can experience, I can give you a target example before we go on to doing it together. I could give you a target example verbally. For the verbal listeners, to the people that like to learn through audio, just think about it in an imaginative way. Close your eyes. What's the first thing that comes to your mind when you think about the year 2000? There's a lot of things that comes to people's minds. But if there's just one immediate thought that came to your mind first, it was probably a vision, probably something related to the economy, probably related to your personal life. God bless you if you were not born that year, so I will ask this different question. Now, what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you think of 9/11? That is an immediate gut-wrenching feeling that changes your intuition. Your intuition immediately flipped. 2000 and 2001 are two different emotional reactions and emotional responses within the psyche. Every single person has an emotional response, whether good or bad, to that date of 2000 or the year 2001 or 9/11 is specifically that date. That switch is probing. If you were to have a session that you didn't understand that was the session for, if you were to have a session and you probed for 1 to 2 seconds, you need to trust the first thought that came to your mind the same way you trusted the first thought that came to your mind about your feeling for 9/11. You probably have a long list of emotional feelings. Great, write it down. There's a lot of emotional feelings you could probably have when probing, and we need to know it. That's your intuition. That's your perspective of reality. There's so many different perspectives of reality that we all have. So personally, when you probe for your specific target, or if it's not a target, when you probe for a specific thing that you need to immediately trust your intuition for, what's the first thing that came to your mind? And when you can trust what came to your mind, and you cannot consciously change what came to your mind just to appease to someone else's emotions, or to appease the people you're talking to, or to appease your own feelings. If you feel bad or negative, happy, sad, excited, blissful, emotional, just express it immediately. You will consciously create a story if you don't. Trust me, you will definitely change your emotions if you think about something and then you're like, nah, I don't really feel that way. That's a lie. Man, I can tell you, my beginning experiences with probing when first learning, and keep the questions coming. I'm watching, by the way. I'm not ignoring you. My first experiences with probing were very visual and emotional, but I didn't know how to write it down. I was being trained by Princess at the time, sometimes Aziz, but it was more visual for me, so I was able to sketch. But you cannot sketch emotions. You can only sketch things that remind you of your emotions. And that's kind of hard. Like, you gotta be really good at drawing if you can sketch emotions. You gotta know how to express your feelings. That is a human right, to understand how to properly communicate to others and to understand others' emotional responses to you. So if your spirit feels something, man, And instead of understanding your feelings, you get a visual. What's the first word that would describe that visual? If someone were blind, how would you describe your emotions to that person if you could only understand your emotions in an imagery way? That's for people that are visual learners. It's easier said than done if you don't practice. But if you practice to understand your emotions properly and communicate your emotions properly, you will become more mature within your psychic intuition. And more mature as a person. Like, we really do need to understand how you feel. It would be great to have a person that can communicate their emotions well, especially during a session. So if I'm doing a session that's really fun and exciting, I need to express that, and I need to know how to probe for that. That's what I like to train my students with learning. Some of my students have expressed to me that over time, the repetition and practice of just releasing attachment from trying to change how they feel, instead of changing how they feel, over time, the repetition and practice of saying immediately what their emotion is, or saying immediately what their emotion reminds them of, it helps them be able to describe their target much more clearer, much more better. It helps them understand what to write down, and it helps them understand how to talk to the person that's giving them the target. The tasker needs to know, how do you feel about the target? And my students have so far expressed to me that it's only easy if you practice proper communication to yourself about your own emotions. It's a mature thing to do. It's something that is not taught in school. You need to understand this for yourself first before you can express to anybody what the target is. It's a spiritual practice, honestly. But so far, I'm going to switch over to the light board. Let's try a task together, shall we? Yes? If you can, during this intermission, try to get out a pen and a couple pieces of paper so we could try this practice together. We're not just going to talk about it all day. Let's do it right now. Ready? Go. I'm going to look at the comments while we're doing this. So if you do get the targets that I'm giving you correct, or thank you. If you do get the targets correct, I'm going to ask you to just drop a little comment down below. Let's see what happens. I'm really excited, aren't you? Okay, so like last time, you got your pen, you got your paper, you have yourself seated properly, spine straight. Let's make sure we do some breathing practices first. Let's calm the brain down for a second. This is going to be something you need to do quick, within 1 to 2 seconds. And if you're able to do this practice with me, I want you to try this. We're going to practice asanas and pranayama really quickly so that you can calm down your brainwave levels. Asanas and pranayama is a practice we do so that we can pay attention to our body and be aware. I don't want you falling asleep during this experience. This is not an astral projection, lucid dream video. We are learning how to trust our intuition. You did not come to that side of YouTube. Go to Gaia for that. Let's try to do some practices of asanas first, which is to be aware of our bodies for a second. This is going to be a light patting of the body from head to toe so that you can be present in the moment. Be prepared. You're going to move your body right now. Okay, so asanas is a yogic practice. Let's start off with the head. Follow along. If you don't understand what I'm doing, Be open to understanding. How about that? We're going to start with our head. So our head, let's massage lightly. Be aware that you have a head, you have a brain. It's there. We're not leaving it subconsciously. Just massage it lightly. Move downward to your neck. Lightly massage your neck. And then we're going to place our hands on our chest. You're going to focus all of your energy back to your heart every single step of the way. When we move to a new body part, place your attention back to the center of your spirit, which is your heart. We're going to start off with our left arm. Every side we do, we're going to start with our left, then we're going to move to our right. So massage lightly on your left arm. Massage, squeeze. Be presently aware of the blood flow in your fingers, in your arms, in your wrist. Go all the way down to your hands. Massage all of those fingers. Lightly massage upwards on your left arm as well. Massage your shoulder. How does it feel? What's your physical state feel like on your left side? And then we're going to center ourselves back to our heart. Let's switch to our right side. Move to your right arm. Massage all the way down to your wrist. Massage your fingers. Relax your muscles, relax your neck, relax your arms. Unclench everything for a second. Be aware that you are here, you're present, you're calm. Massage back up your right arm. Massage your shoulder. Give it a little zhuzh. And let's go back to our heart. This is going to help you understand if you are in pain. If you're in pain during this practice, it's very distracting. So let's understand that our physical state is here and we need to care about it. Let's move downward. Massage your chest, stomach, back, and tailbone. Let's start off with the chest. Massage your chest all the way down to your tummy, your stomach. If you can reach your back, massage your back. This is your middle area of your body. You do need to understand if you're in pain in your back while sitting up with your spine straight, your physical state needs your attention. This does not need your attention right now. If you are in pain physically right now, move down to your tailbone. If you feel like you're in pain, please pause this video and pay attention to your body. As you move downward to your tailbone, massage back up, back to your heart. Now we're going to move to our left side again. Please massage your left leg. You're going to massage all the way from your thigh, underneath your knee, your calf muscles. Massage all the way down to your ankles. Massage every single part of your foot, especially those toes. Yep, I said it. Massage your foot all the way back up. Massage your ankle. Massage your calf underneath your knee. Massage your thigh, your left thigh. And once you get to your hip bone, place your hands back to your heart, please. You've centered yourself now. Let's go to your right side. We're going to massage our right leg. Massage your right thigh, underneath your knee, your calf. Massage down to your ankle, the bottom of your foot, all of those toes. Don't be shy. And massage back up to your ankle, your calf muscles, underneath your knee, your thigh, and back to your heart. If you're presently aware that there is any sort of pain in your physical state, please continue to pause this video and pay attention to your body. You'll be distracted intuitively. So let's go on to pranayama now. Pranayama is so that we can center our brain through breath. Inhalation creates inspiration. Let's make the spiral of our spirits be more aware through breath. You're going to use 2 fingers, your pinky and your thumb. Use your left hand and your thumb first. We're going to cover our left nostril first. We're going to breathe in very quickly, alternating from pinky to thumb, from left nostril to right nostril. Very fast, and then very slow. As you inhale, inhale through your nose. As you exhale, out your mouth. Inhale through the nose, exhale out the mouth. Inhale through the, exhale through the, you got it, cool. All right, let's begin. So, fast, then slow. We're trying to slow the brain waves. Ready? Thumb, then pinky. Relax your shoulders. Last one. All right. Now, we may begin. Grab your pen. Make sure your paper is blank. There's nothing on it to distract you. And we're going to start off with the first step. Draw a dot on your piece of paper. Does not matter where. The point of this dot is to direct your attention to a chosen point of existence. This is so your mind can concentrate on one thing instead of staring around the room, randomly thinking about what you might think of next. It's so that you can focus. I'm not sure who's a Naruto fan, but if you understand the Naruto concept of the spiral and the dot in the center of your hand so that you can center the chi and you can create it. All right, you understand. That's for anime fans. But this is so that you can focus. This is so that you're not distracted. This is your point of existence to probe. You're only going to press your pen down onto this dot for 1 to 2 seconds. There's a specific target at hand, and I need you to remember to write down the first thought that comes to your mind. You're probing for anything that comes to your mind. Do not be discouraged about what you write if it's possibly not related to the target. You're trusting your intuition. The practice today is to trust the first thought that came to your mind. This is not a test. There's no like, no one's going to ban you from YouTube if you get this wrong. You're okay. So we're going to write down our target coordinates on our piece of paper. The target coordinates right now is 1, 1, 2, 0, 5, 6, 8, 9. Gonna give you guys a second to write that down. When you're done, we're going to trust the first thing that comes to our mind only when we place our pen on this dot. Right now, you have a whole bunch of thoughts that is a multitude of possibilities and probabilities of what this target could be related to, and you are most likely wrong. I need you to recognize the first thought that comes to your mind intuitively. Just one word. Not a stream of words about how you think this is probably the dude's dog down the street that just changed colors because he dyed its hair blue. No, just one word that comes to your mind definitively when you place your pen onto this dot. Not yet. 1 second. Just give it a second. Release attachment from thinking you're right or wrong. Release attachment from thinking you know what this target is. Okay? All right, let's begin. What's the first thought that came to your mind? Write it down. And I'd like for you to physically actively try to do this. If you're paying attention and watching right now, and instead of writing it down, you're just commenting, I want you to really grab a pen, grab a paper, and physically write something. This is so that you can trust the thoughts that come to your mind. This is a mind-body reaction. This is hand-eye coordination. You can trust yourself to write down something casually. So write down something casually. What's the first thought that came to your mind? How do you feel? And if you wrote one thing, do it again. Probe, and what's the first thought that comes to your mind this time? Aim for low-level data. Don't describe something that's really specific or high level. When I say low-level data, I mean something that's basic. A very basic one-word description of something. High-level data would be something not everybody knows or understands. Something that probably is related to something too specific because you're probably guessing what the target is. And we don't want you to guess what the target is. We want you to trust the first thought that came to your mind. Describe it. If I were blind right now, what's the first thought that came to your mind? Again, write it down immediately. Even if you spell it wrong, that's okay. Now, I want you to try this one. Related to the target. Probe. What's the first emotion that came to your mind? Write it down. Don't think about it too long. Write it down. Describe a color you see. What is the smell you smell? What can you taste? Grab something. Tell me the emotions you feel if you were in the center of this location. How would you feel if you were not in the center of this location? What is the first thing you hear? What is the first feeling you get in your gut? I asked a multitude of questions. I want you to write one of those down at least. Try it again. What's the first thing that came to your mind? This question can get annoying. It really can. This is easier said than done. I expect you to have at least 7 things written down by now. I asked a lot of questions. This should be a stream flow of intuition. You should be writing descriptions of something so low level and basic. You're sensing something. There is a target. If you had the audacity to say, I don't sense anything there, try again. Try again. Trust yourself. Give yourself that push to write down one word. This target is actually here. So do not give that excuse to yourself that you can't think of anything. I'm going to give you one more chance. Take 2 seconds. No longer. Pen down. What's the first thing that came to your mind? Write it down. There should be something here, like on your paper. I'm going to tell you guys the target. Actually, first I want to read to see if anybody got it.
Good show.
Oh, wow. Okay. And if you have the experience of knowing that you've written down something so far, tell me what you've written. Actually, like, now that you've written something, type it. I want to see. I would love to see who's experiencing what the target is.
Like, now.
Wow. Okay, so I'm going to read. First, I'm going to tell you the target. The target is a woman giving birth. Specifically, March 2nd, 1998. That target is me. As my mother giving birth to me. I wanted you to experience the feeling of my mother giving birth. That is the target. If you felt the experience of emotions, I would love for you to have written those down. But I can read out loud what descriptions would have been too high level and what descriptions would have been low level. Low level descriptions are correct. High level descriptions are usually deductions or most of the time incorrect. So low level deduction or description of the target would be subject, specifically multiple subjects. Even more specifically, female subject, sitting or stagnant, not moving, no movement. Even more specific, a subject inside of a structure on a base surface. Or you could sense structure. You could have wrote down subject. You could have wrote down female. You could have wrote down brown. You could have wrote down happy. You could have wrote down crying. You could have wrote down sad. You could have wrote down screaming. You could have wrote down, You could have wrote down your perspective of how you would feel if you were in the center of the target. Now, high-level descriptions. High-level descriptions are, so I'll read some to you because you guys have, scared is one, probably scared. My mama probably did feel scared giving birth to me. High-level descriptions would have been, Jabberwockies, tsunami, Vatican, banana, bakery, pancake, y'all, Star Trek. Come on. Star Trek. That's interesting. Wow. Someone actually commented, this daughter was my first. That's really cool. But the descriptions should have been low level. It should have been very basic. It should have been straight to the point, the first word that came to your mind, not a story, not a sentence, just one word. That was the goal. If you achieved that goal, you achieved that goal, then great. You got a description that was low level, that was related to some woman giving birth inside of a structure that was on base surface, and she was emotional. Thank you. We're trying to probe for emotions more than anything, because that's the one thing we really are expecting to see in a target. So let's try again. You don't know the target, so let's see if we can get it right the second time. I want you to spew out a stream of emotions, spew out a stream of descriptions, but they have to be basic and simple. Okay? I'll ask Courtney. Courtney, can you get an eraser for me? Let's see if we can.
You want me to do it?
Yes, please.
Rather than you?
No, let's just wet the napkin. In the meantime, who else got some descriptions? I would like to know what else you guys wrote as descriptions on your piece of paper. This is actually really fun to me. I've never done this on live before. I don't think anybody has. Let's try to keep that dot on that page. If you only used a pen, let's change the page. Just throw that page away completely. Don't be distracted next time we do this. And do the same process. We're going to write the target coordinates on our page, and we're going to make sure that we have this probing dot on our page. It's going to help you. We're going to choose a specific point of existence, probe for 2 seconds, write down the first thing that came to your mind. Don't even think about it, actually. Try not to think too much. The aim is to trust your intuition is going to write down something by itself. Your subconscious is way more presently aware than everything than your conscious mind is. You'll understand when you get a target correct. So let's try again, because I'm excited. This target is going to be target coordinates. Three, 0, 0, 4, 4, 9, 6. Probe. What's the first word that came to your mind? Probe again. What is your emotions? What's the first emotion that comes to your mind? Probe again. What's the first color that you see? Probe again. What can you hear? Are the sounds loud, quiet, or is there no sound? Probe again. Where are you? Are you on a base surface or not on a base surface? Write fast. Probe again. Is it bright, dark, dim, or glowing in this environment? Probe fast. What's the first thing you can grab? Is it hard, soft, semi-soft, wet, or mushy? Probe again. Is this environment natural, man-made, artificial, movement, or energetics? Probe again. As I'm saying this, I want you to write fast. This is the point of trusting your intuition. You're writing so quickly, you have no time to consciously change the first thought that comes to you. You, as a human being, automatically wants to create a problem. You automatically want to create some sort of solution to a problem that you're changing in your mind. Don't do that right now. Just think about writing immediately. Okay? Keep going. In the center of the target, what is the first thing you see? What's the first thing you can describe in the center of this target? Continue. I want you to probe What's the first color you see again? Different color. Probe again. What's the next color you see? Write it down. Probe again. Is the color you see hard, soft, semi-hard, semi-soft, wet, or mushy? Probe again. Where are you? Are you on a base surface or not on a base surface? What type of base surface or what type of non-base surface is this? Probe again. What else can you see in the center of the target? One last time. Probe again. Close your eyes. What's the first emotion you feel in the center of the target? Put your pen down. I want you to just take a second. Read over what you've written so far. I expect you to have an array of different descriptions of this target, so let's see if you guys got it. I'm watching the comments as they go. I'm excited. And do not discourage yourself if you got the target incorrect, please. You are learning. You are in the process of being better. You are in the process of trusting yourself more. You are in the process of understanding your intuition in a more calming way. So do not discourage yourself if you got one simple thing incorrect. You are perfectly in tune and in alignment with what you need to know. And comment what you've written, because I'm really excited. Oh. Okay. Wow. Okay. Keep going. Keep going. I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not even gonna say the target yet. I'm excited now. Okay. Let's try this together. I want you to really, now that you've put your pen down, you still don't know the target. You have a chance to try again. Pick up your pen and probe one more time. What's the first thing you see in the center of the target? Write it down. Don't go like this. Oh no, like that's taking too long. You gotta write down quickly. Keep going. What's the first thing you see in the center of the target? And put your pen down. Pick it up again. Probe one more time. You do not know the target. Release attachment from thinking you do. If you already have an image in your mind of what you think the target is, throw it away. Give me a one-word basic description of. In the center of the target, can you deep mind probe anything that you see there? What's the first thing that comes to your mind? What are the thoughts you're thinking about? What is the feeling, the emotion you're sensing in the center of the target? Write it down quickly. Write down all of those thoughts that just came to your mind. Every single one of them. Don't leave anything out. Don't try to alter it just so that you can maybe get the target right. Write it down. You never know what your thoughts could possibly relate to in this target. I'm reading your comments, and some of you got some basic descriptions. I'm very proud. Wow. Okay. So, let's dive deeper into this target. I actually really want to see some more of those descriptions. Okay. One more time. This is your third chance. I'm actually going to take longer this time to see if you can get more deeper descriptions. We're trying to see your perspective of this one thing. Everybody has a different perspective of every single target. So you don't know what the target is, but I want you to tell me probe. In the center of the target, what is the color you see? In the center of the target, what is the texture you feel? In the center of the target, what is the temperature? I'm going to describe some different things to you, and it's possibly related, and it possibly is not related to the target. I'm going to tell you some descriptions that are low level so that you can not distract yourself with high level descriptions. If one of these descriptions resonate with you, write it down immediately. You ready? Land, water, movement, energetics, non-surface structure, surface structure, hard, soft, semi-soft, wet, mushy, natural, man-made, movement, energetics, fast, slow, spiraling, sparkling, fire, heat, snow, ice, wet. You've written down something. Put your pen down. Release attachment from thinking you know what the target is. Pick your pen back up. And let's try this again. Warm, hot, cold, moderate, loud, silent, windy, quiet. You've written something. Let's dive deeper. Level topography, irregular topography, on base surface, not on a base surface. Subject, one, multiple, many, crowd, no subjects. Natural environment, harsh natural environment, no natural environment. I want you to write down any of those descriptions that came to your mind that you probably were resonating with. Keep going. Last descriptions. White, black, gray, red, yellow, blue, green, orange, purple, brown. Put your pen down. I'm going to tell you the target now. After you guys type what you've written so far. This is cool. I've never done this before. I'm live. I'm excited. Okay, so the target. I've just given you a variety of low-level descriptions. Those are the most basic, universal descriptions of anything everywhere. I didn't give you all of them, but I gave you some to choose from. If you veered off into the land of high-level descriptions, try to drag yourself back to those. Otherwise, you're describing something you think might be the target, and you're creating a story, and we're not trying to do that here. So far, you notice I didn't say alien? Oh, please don't write those as a description. We're trying to just do basic targets here. Basic low-level descriptions. And if you send something that was alive, just write subject. Break down those deductions into something basic. The target was Usain Bolt winning the Olympics. I expect those of you that wrote down the proper descriptions to get the colors black, yellow, green, brown. The temperature would be hot. The temperature would be very, very, very hot. It was in the summer. You would also get movement, fast movement. You would also get a subject, a male subject. You should also get a crowd or a focused gathering. There should be multiple subjects. There should be a structure there. We should be on land. We're not in space. I didn't give you a space target. We should be on a base surface where there's a structure, where there's multiple subjects, and the center of the target has fast movement, hot temperature, the colors black, yellow, white, green, and brown. And the subject should be feeling something. I want you to tell me what your emotions were if you were in the center of the target. And you should probably feel excited, like that was a great time. But it depends on your perspective of that target. If you didn't like that he won, then you probably felt something else. If you were rooting for a different racer, then by all means, that's your subconscious perspective that you wrote down just now. But the target was the Olympics and a winner, specifically Usain Bolt. How you feel about that target is what you should have written down emotionally, and what you saw or what you could have grabbed, the textures you felt, you should have written those down as well. The colors you saw, you should have written those down as well. And I saw lots of correct descriptions in this comment section. And no, I'm sorry to those that wanted me to slow down. You can't. You can't slow down in this type of situation. You can't take too long. This is the part that we're trying to learn together. Is trusting your intuition immediately, like that. Write down whatever the thought came to your mind immediately. I will only guide you in that direction. I will not slow down for you to prolong the feeling you got. Because you'll create a story, and then you'll start typing things about the comments I saw, like banana and Zelda, and that's just like the opposite of what we're trying to get. We're trying to get basic descriptions really quickly. It's kind of like a spelling bee, but instead, you're not thinking about how to spell. You're thinking about what your thoughts are. So far, I'm gonna name out some people that got these right, and hopefully you guys can come back next time for our live stream so that I can guide you on the next thing. Some of the people that got this target correct were people that described anything with color yellow and brown. Like Ben Ba, you got that correct. Oh, wow. Some of these descriptions. I'm really excited for next time because next time we'll be able to understand the difference between breaking down your deductions so that you don't write down high-level descriptions when we do our practices like this together. But if you really do want a consultation, or if you want me to teach you personally, privately, like the other students that I have, I know some of you are watching. If you want me to personally teach you, I'm excited. My birthday is coming up, so I would love to have some more students as a birthday gift. If you're interested, email me at info@trudybenjamin.com. You can also contact me about questions you have. If I'm not able to answer those questions in this tiny little comment section, email me. I always reply. And if you are interested in being my student, I am open to teaching anybody that's open-minded to learn remote viewing. It's very fun being a teacher for remote viewing. So email me at info@trudybenjamin.com and I'll get back to you on that, especially if you have a target. If you're not even interested in trying to do this, if you're not even interested in trying to learn this process, I could do a task for you. I could do a target for you, and you can email me about that as well. So, have a good day, you guys. I'll see you next time. Good job.